Welcome, everyone, to Real Estate on the Up, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the real estate world in Orlando. I'm your host, Kyle Madoran, and on this show, we're all about pulling back the curtain with the unfiltered truth about real estate. We're not just here to sell houses. We're here to provide concierge-style service because everyone loves being treated like a VIP. This podcast is your go-to resource for transparency, integrity, and the knowledge you need to make smarter real estate decisions. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time homebuyer, we've got you covered. So buckle up and get ready to move up in the world of real estate. It's time for Real Estate on the Up. Joining us today is Karuna Singhvi, a vibrant resident of Florida since 2003. Over the past 21 years, Karuna has traveled extensively across the state, gaining invaluable insights into its diverse communities. But her journey doesn't stop there. Karuna is also a loving and busy mom of 3 wonderful children. She cherishes family time with her husband and kids, and in her moments of leisure, she enjoys dancing, painting, and traveling. Karuna's passion for real estate is evident in her approach to the industry. She sees real estate as a matchmaking process, one that she excels in due to her active involvement and deep understanding of Central Florida's diverse landscape. Her impressive track record speaks for itself with over 140 successful transactions in the Orlando metro area. What sets Karuna apart is her commitment to exceeding her clients' expectations. Her number one goal each year is to help as many families as possible with their real estate needs, fostering not just business relationships, but lifelong friendships. So without further ado, let's welcome her to the show. Here she is, Karuna Singhvi.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kyle, for inviting me. I just wanted to add into it the way I started the real estate.
Absolutely.
My husband was investing in the properties, and I had taken a degree in interior design. And that time the market was really down and I couldn't do much in the industry. So I thought, why not just explore the real estate? So I got into it. And as I got into the investment properties that my husband was making, I started getting more and more involved with the real estate. And I started meeting the first-time home buyers, which really encouraged me to get more into real estate. Once they closed the property, or the process of the real estate made me that I really wanted to help them. Once they closed, they used to be so happy and so encouraged. And I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. And that's what
Feels good, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's what got me into the real estate at the first place. Yes.
That's great. No, it's always interesting to hear where agents come from, how they got started, because very few of us get out of high school or college right away and say, hey, I want to be a real estate agent. You know, it seems to be a journey for most of us. And so it's always very intriguing to hear how that unfolds for people. So you know a lot about investments, which is a great niche. And certainly that's something that a lot of people watching and listening to the show have an interest in as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. I know that you like to focus a lot of your business in Seminole County, which is one of the 5 counties that comprise the Orlando metro area. That's the northeast side of town. So tell us a little bit about Seminole County and why that's a great place for people to consider purchasing a property.
So for the Seminole County, it is a lot of people want to move into Seminole County just because of the school districts. The school district is A. So a lot of people want to move here for the school system. We have a lot of IB schools here, pre-IB schools. So for middle school and high schoolers, it's a great place to move in. The crime rate, it's all depends on different counties. So we do have a little bit, but it's a very safe county, and the property prices have skyrocketed in last few years. So a lot of people want to move because of that. They see the appreciation in the properties.
Sure. Yeah. And homeowners there have certainly seen wonderful appreciation and building of equity over the last few years.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
What's interesting when I look at Seminole County compared to some of the other places around Orlando is that it seems somewhat insulated against some of the market changes. Like in Osceola County right now, we're seeing where it's transitioning into almost a buyer's market. Whereas in Seminole County, there's still a lot of demand where it's still a very, very stable seller's market. It's very interesting.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. I mean, if the properties are right priced, if it's in a good condition and at the right place, they're not staying in the market for long in Seminole County. Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So when you're working with investors, do you have many investors who target Seminole County, or do they think that because of property values, are there other opportunities in places that maybe would be better suited for their goals?
So the investors, they usually are more concerned about their ROI. If they are making in Seminole County for investors, there's not much ROI left. So most of my investors are investing in Orlando area or Osceola County that you're talking about. Because of the price range of the properties here in Seminole County, the price range is really high. The median price would be 400, 450 here to start with, but they can get a better price range properties in Osceola County or in Orlando area where they can get more ROI. And just because of the parks and everything, people like to come in and out there, so they want to invest there.
That makes sense. Absolutely. So
Yes.
in terms of the investors who you work with, I know that the old adage in investing is the 1% rule, where you want to try and get 1% of the value of the property every month in your rent that you're receiving. And that seems difficult now because of the changes in the marketplace. So what advice are you giving to investors who are looking for properties now when they're trying to find something that's going to give them a good ROI?
So what we are trying to achieve with the investment is at least 8 to 10% on their ROI. So we try to find the properties where we can get at the lower price and we can have a good rent on the property. So a lot of my buyers right now are investing in Airbnbs, and they are saying they are getting 8 to 10 returns. 8 to 10% of returns. And I have few people who are even doing long terms and they are getting at least 4 to 5% in their returns. So that's what our main goal is. If you're going for a long-term or a short-term rentals, we are getting at least 5 to 10% of return in the properties. But they are at hold, as you said, the market is high right now and they're not getting the ROIs. So it is getting a little difficult for them to invest in the properties there.
Yeah, it seems like it's becoming more challenging, and also because of the problems we're having here in the state with insurance. That's
Yes,
a hot button
yes,
topic. Hopefully there will
absolutely.
be, yeah, I think that there is some light at the end of the tunnel. I just read recently that insurance rates have actually begun to creep down a little bit. So let's hope that continues and makes things a little easier for all of us, including investors.
Yes, and then if more companies come, just like the other companies have started coming into our market, it may come down a bit. That's what I am crossing my fingers at.
Absolutely. Now, switching gears a little bit from investors to first-time home buyers. I know that this can be a somewhat challenging market for first-time home buyers, but there are a
Yes.
lot of people out there who are looking for their first home and are trying to navigate all of the situations that exist today with interest rates and such. Tell us a little bit about difficulties that first-time home buyers are facing and some of the ways you're helping with those.
So the first and foremost problem for them is the down payment. They do not have so much of savings to put down. So either they are going for FHA, and if they are VA, they would go with VA. So with the FHA, lot of sellers are still hesitant to take FHA. I do not know why. I have worked with first-time home buyers who are either FHA or VA, and they are great buyers, and they have
Absolutely.
never had any difficulty closing the properties unless there is a totally different scenario. But then most of the time they are the best people to work with because of their enthusiasm, because of their dreams, what they are thinking of. So I like to work with first time home buyers. So the first problem that they have is the financing, but the other problem right now would be the interest rates. They cannot afford the interest rates that are in the market right now. So what I am trying to do is I am getting in touch with the mortgage companies who would give them a little bit of leeway on their fees, if they can give towards their closing cost or stuff like that, which can help them close the properties and make their dreams come true.
That's great. Yeah, I think that the financing end of it seems to be the most challenging part right now. And that's terrific
Correct.
that you're working with lenders who will try and make things as easy as possible. Hopefully, we'll start to see interest rates come down a little bit in the next
I
few
know.
months.
Correct. I
Make
agree
things a
with
lot
you.
easier.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. So I know that you also have another specialty, which is unique and not many agents focus on, and that's the global real estate industry. And you specifically market to customers outside the United States. I'd love to hear more about that. And of course, agents and customers listening may also be really interested in how you do that. How do you market to people outside the country? And what are those customers looking for?
First of all, I have been certified as a CIPS, which is a Certified International Property Specialist. I have that designation, which helps me connect with all the global partners that we have with ORA. ORA is Orlando Regional Realtor Association, and NAR, which is National Association of Realtors. So the NAR and ORA and the Florida Association do a lot of collaboration with the association outside the United States of America, where they have conferences where they invite all us global realtors to go there to other countries. Like we just had gone to Canada, a lot of people have gone to UK, a lot of people have gone to Brazil and Spain. We go there and the conferences are in association with the association of that particular country. They will take us around the builders that are building right now, and they will tell us how the real estate works there, and we will talk about how the real estate works here in United States, and try to have a collaboration between the two countries, invite them to our country here in United States, and we go there so that we have a good real estate connection between two countries.
That's fantastic. So you can help not only people looking to invest here in the United States, but also American citizens looking to buy in other countries. That's great.
Yes, a lot of people are from United States. The citizens are trying to buy outside United States for their retirement homes or just for a few years to explore the country. So a lot of people are right now going into South American countries. So they are exploring a lot of places there, and then even in the other countries near Europe. So a lot of people are moving that side too. Okay. Because I think they think that they can find properties cheaper there. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think for retirement, I've at least read where there are opportunities in Central America, Portugal, places like that might be, really inexpensive as beautiful places to retire, but you can stretch your dollar a little bit.
Stretch your dollar a bit, yes. And a lot of people nowadays want to experience a lot of different cultures also. So they are not just, tied up to United States. They want to go out, explore, try other cultures and enjoy and learn more about other cultures.
Got it. Yeah, interesting. So what are some of the key ways that real estate internationally works differently than real estate here in Florida?
I think NAR and Florida Realtors or Orlando Real Estate is very streamlined. I mean, we have seen the other countries, they are trying to get the NAR certification that they can collaborate and they can use the system that we have, the streamlined system that we have, the compensation system that we have, all the addendums we have, all the contracts we have. They are trying to use the same thing in their countries. So it's very different. And when I see the way the other countries work, our real estate is very, very easy to work with, I can say.
That's great to hear. I know sometimes we have our challenges too, but it's always nice to hear that things here work pretty smoothly. And I agree. I've never lived internationally, but I've lived in 4 different states. And I agree that Florida real estate seems much more streamlined and simple than it is in some other places, even here in the United States.
Yes. And then when you're connecting to realtors outside the country, outside the other countries, our country, we have a lot of referral programs. Every state have their own referral programs that we can refer the people out and they can come into, the agents can refer people to Florida.
Got it. Okay.
So that is also streamlined. So you're not losing anything anywhere.
Very nice. Wow. See, this is a niche I've never focused on. And so very intriguing for me to learn about it. So yeah, thank you.
It's a great market. If I remember the number is correct, most of the people who are moving into US is moving into California and then Florida state and Texas, of course. But in Florida, Miami is the highest place for Central American people to buy the investment properties. And for as you said, the Central America, a lot of people are buying here too. So Florida is a hub for a lot of people investing the properties here.
That's great. Very good. So with international buyers, if they're coming from out of the country and they are not using cash for their purchase, they'd like to finance their purchase, where do you turn to get that done smoothly? Because I know sometimes that can be a little bit of a challenge.
So we have few companies here. Money Corp is one of them, where you can just put your money in the escrow, and then when the house is ready to close, they would transfer the money here. I mean, to the title company. So it's a very streamlined process. Money Corp is one of the companies that I work with, but there are plenty of other companies who do so. And what they do is they try to escrow the money before we start the transaction so that we are safe, and even the buyer and the sellers are confident that, okay, it is going to close because the money is already there. So we are not running around anywhere. And as you said, if they are not cash, there are a lot of financing companies which work here in US and also work in Canada, for example. They can collaborate with each other and they can get the financing and can buy a property here. So a lot of mortgage companies are there which would lend them the money.
Yeah, that's a great point, is if you can find a lender or a bank that works both in the United States and the country of origination for where that customer is coming from, it generally does make things easier with the financing.
Yes, and a lot of people would say, I mean, I just heard from one of the global person is, if you do not have enough cash to buy, I don't know if it's a very good idea or not a good idea, but then what they said is, if you're really interested in buying a property here in United States, invest here, and you do not have enough cash back in your country, is take the equity from your home and then transfer here, and then you can buy a property here. I mean,
Certainly
which
is
I
much
thought was a
smoother.
good
Yeah,
idea.
much easier with cash. Yeah.
Much easier, much smoother than getting a financing here in United States.
Yeah, international financing is tough because they don't have the same sort of systems that we have here with credit scores and that sort of thing. So there's a lot more research, a lot more due diligence, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming for the customers to go through all that.
Yeah, so the financing would only be feasible if the bank works with both the countries. Otherwise, it will be a very difficult task to maneuver over all the hoops and get the deal done.
Right. No, that makes sense. And so locally too, when we have buyers looking to purchase, I know that one of the things that sometimes, especially first-time home buyers, don't realize is the importance of getting pre-approved at the very start of the process. Can you explain a little bit about why that's important to get that done at the very first step?
It's a very easy scenario to understand, but a lot of people ignore it just because, say, for example, I am a first time home buyer and I'm not pre-approved. I just think, okay, I can afford this house. This payment, say, for example, $1,500 per month, I can afford it. I go look at a house, my realtor shows me a house, and when I just fall in love with that property. But when I come back and do the numbers, that comes up to $1,800 per month as my payment. I am devastated. I'm like, no, I cannot afford it. So it is very important for us as realtors to let the first-time home buyers to know that it is very important for you to be pre-approved so that we can see the properties that is within your means. You do not want to go overboard on your monthly payment. Sometimes they think, oh, okay, you know what? It's just $100, but it makes a big difference in one's life, just that $100 per month. So it's always a good idea to get pre-approved for the sake of usage of time for each and every person involved in that transaction, whether it's a buyer, seller, realtor, the listing agent, or the buyer's agent, so that you're not wasting your time and you're not having your hopes too high or too low. You know exactly where you stand when you are pre-approved, what to buy and what not to buy.
Great point. Yeah. And it's a process and it's a blueprint that if we follow that process, we can achieve success. And so by getting the steps out of order and mixed up, it creates potential problems down the road. And by doing it the right way, it makes things much easier to reach those goals at the end.
Absolutely. And then it makes sense for even a realtor, because sometimes most of the first time home buyers are on other third party sites and they say, oh my God, I love this house. Can you show me this house? And then we have to tell them, no, you cannot see this house because this is out of your pre-approval price that you have been approved for. So we have to actually educate them. This is why we are doing the pre-approval process, though, that you are not going overboard and I'm not taking you overboard. We are within the pre-approval price range that we are looking to buy, and you are comfortable paying every month.
Absolutely. No, excellent point. So for you personally, of course, you love to travel. Where is your next destination? Where are you planning to head to?
We are going to Iceland.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I'd love to go there.
Yes, but in the point of real estate, I am trying to be a global ambassador for Canada and India. So I'm trying hard to achieve that position right now with NAR,
Gotcha.
so that I can travel to these countries and promote real estate there and bring more people in here to invest in United States.
That is amazing. Well, I'm sure you're going to be successful at that. You have a great background and you certainly have a passion for it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us and being with us today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Kyle, for having me here.
It's my pleasure. So we have people watching and listening who may want to get in touch with you with questions about global real estate or the things that you specialize in. What's the best way for them to reach out and get in touch with you?
My phone number is 407-760-3297. And you can reach out to me through email also, which is karunasellsflorida@gmail.com. KARUNASELLS, Florida spelled out, @gmail.com. And I have a website which you can go to, www.karuna.realtor.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you so much again. Ladies and gentlemen, Karuna Singhvi, an amazing agent and certainly a very impressive background. Thank you again for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Kyle.
My pleasure. And everyone, thanks for listening. Take care. As we conclude another eye-opening episode of Real Estate on the Up, I want to express my appreciation for joining us. Thank you for being a valuable part of the Real Estate on the Up community. Your time and engagement mean the world, so make sure you subscribe and leave a review. Your real estate goals are my priority, and my team and I are here to provide the personalized attention and service that have earned us high recognition. If you have questions, need guidance, or are ready to make a move, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm just a message away. I'm Kyle Madoran, one of Rate My Agent's top 100 in the United States, signing off. Until next time, take care and make those real estate dreams a reality.